We are glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. Good to see everybody. Merry Christmas to you. I'm here in Northern California, and we got a giant trees all over the office, giant wreaths. It's just beautiful. What the heck? I'm going to unplug and show you. A picture's worth 1,000 words. And this is Christmas. This is my favorite time of the year. It's beautiful. Thank you, Rob. So they've been out decorating the office a little bit. I'll just show you this half of the office. They put this giant wreath on here. It's just stunning. It's lights up with beautiful white lights. And then there's the Christmas tree over there. They're about to put a bunch of presents under it. I got my daughter doing that, but we're down here at the office. They got trees throughout the entire office. But Merry Christmas. I absolutely love this time of year. So I love it. It's the best. Okay, so today we are going to talk about soft recruiting events. The 1% Club, if you've never been here, is all about how to grow your revenue share organization. And we talk about this all the time, but a picture's worth 1,000 words. I tell you guys, I want you to go to title companies, mortgage companies. Some of you on the East Coast, you use attorneys to close, go to their offices. It could be 10 of you doing a luxury training event. 20 of you doing a business planning class. The speaker, the trainer's always an EXP agent. You want them impressed with a Matt Plummer or a Joanne Poland or a Vincent St. Louis or a Dave or a Craig or, Melanie. So here's the deal. Let's pull up El Dorado Hills. And you could literally, you get a copy of this. You can actually copy it. But, so who's your speaker? Is it Jay Kender? Is it Albie Stasek? Is it Elizabeth Riley, Gene Frederick? It doesn't have to be, but anybody, and you get them in there. My first meeting had 7 people. So my staff made this little video here, this little PDF. So I'm going to make it a little larger on my screen so I can see it. But there it is. So if you look here, the El Dorado Hills 2025 kickoff momentum event. I wrote that on a piece of paper like this, and I wrote it all out, and then I gave it to someone who knows how to do graphics. And you can go to anyone. They could do this. You could go hand this. Can we put the flyer in the chat only comments, possibly? Yes. Not have to be right now, but you could literally take this, and then New Vision Lending is a sponsor of this, and this is up in El Dorado Hills. We also have I don't have my glasses on. I can't even see at the bottom. Who else do we have there? TDM, Neil, and then Finley. So we have different things because guess what? From 10 to noon, you add value. Production. At lunch, you serve lunch, and the vendors bring lunch, box lunches, pizza, Thai food, whatever you want to do. But people, if you feed agents, they will show up. And the key thing is this is broker agnostic, and it's awesome. We're at the town center, which is a very high end. I would never do the Holiday Inn. I preach against using the Holiday Inn. This one is bougie. It's like there's a hotel like it's not a great hotel, but it's in Napa. And I'm telling you, it's really nice. It matches Napa, and it's not a big name hotel. I would normally never stay there, but we couldn't find a room. We stayed there, and it was super nice, super upgraded. So this particular Holiday Inn, everybody knows in El Dorado Hills, it's not your normal Holiday Inn. It's the only place that has a large room that'll hold 100 people in all of El Dorado Hills. So we're going to have about 100 people there. And if we have an extra 50 show up, they can line the walls, just more energy. But here, you literally can take this to your assistant and say, make this for me. Just copy this. And so there's all the verbiage, reserve your spot, 10 to noon, and then lunch served at noon. And what happens is the whole focus is production. Go, everyone's coming. Remax, Keller Williams, Century 21, everybody's coming. And you want to create FOMO. Like, don't miss out. Come learn about how to sell more real estate, get more listings. And then we celebrate the producers at this event. It's the end of the year. I'm going to be recognizing anyone who made your first sale in real estate. Raise your hand, and they'll be excited. It'll be 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 people in the group who just made their first sale. If you just made your first sale in the last month or 2 or 3, raise your hand. It's that quick. I go, and then once they raise their hand, because they won't say, if you say stand up, they won't say boo. But if you say raise your hand, they're like, oh, okay, I'll raise my hand. I go, great, all of you stand up. And they're like, oh, crap, now I got to stand. And they stand up and go, everybody applaud these. Everyone remember your first sale? Everyone, and we all cheer for them. And then I'll do, okay, who's just completed their first year in real estate? Raise your hand. They'll raise their hand. I go, stand up. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to recognize them. We're going to recognize production. Who just capped? You're at 100%. You're not on the 20%. You literally just capped in the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. You just capped. You see how I did that? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Raise your hand. A bunch of people raise their hand for capping. Stand up, and we're going to applaud them. And then I go, who just icon? Anybody just icon? And you win the $16,000 of the stock, and then you recognize them. You even go up to them. Who are you? Where are you from? And then if you hear about somebody who maybe just sold, like Justin Lott in St. Augustine, Florida, listed a home on the ocean for $19 million, and he double-ended it. So he did a $38 million sale. Most people have never sold $38 million in their life. That was one of his sales. Justin, get up here on stage. How'd you do it? Recognize him. You want to recognize and celebrate your people. And then who just did, now I know Vincent St. Louis just did a $7.5 million sale. Vincent, stand up. We want to applaud you. And so you got to kind of know who's in the room. Did anybody else make their first high-end luxury sale this year? We want to recognize you. Should I said this year? I threw it out there. Because if you say this month, they may have done it 3 months ago. Yeah, I did. How much was it? It was $2.8 million. Hey, good job. And then anybody do a commercial deal this year? You want to celebrate luxury. You want to celebrate commercial. You want to celebrate the first sale. You want to celebrate them capping. You want to celebrate whatever, if someone sold an apartment complex, celebrate them. And you could do all this recognition in like 5 minutes. And it's important to the agents that you do this. And then lunch is served. So I would do the celebration right at the very end. So what you do is you're adding value, you're adding value, you're adding value, you're adding value, and then you're celebrating, and then lunch. Now, everyone write this down. This is a classic soft recruiting event. They go, well, it's a EXP thing. I go, it's not. Everywhere. Remax is going to be there. Keller Williams is going to be there. Real's going to be there. Sotheby's is going to be there. Berkshire Hathaway is going to be there. LPT is going to be. Everybody's coming. Come. And it's what it's called is a soft recruiting event. And then what happens is they like it. They go, wow, you guys didn't talk about recruiting one time. How you recruit? You don't recruit. Now you recruit, you don't talk about recruiting. You do recruit, but it's soft recruiting. They're like, wow, what a great group. And then when you're done, guess what you do? Well, you like this? Next month in January, and do you have our, I know I'm throwing this on you, so take a second. I want to show them the January PCAR event we have in January. Because at the end of this day, Del Dorado Hills, this is next week, by the way. You know when I set this up? I set this up on last Thursday. So from last Thursday to today, Tuesday, this came together. It was super easy to do. We called, got the room, we got speakers. It's the PCAR event. Yeah. So we're going to show you. So at the end of this event, go, hey, do you guys all enjoy it? We just got in. So we have Matt Smith coming from the East Coast. He sells 600 homes a year. And I'm going to do it with him. We're going to do how to master prospecting. I'm in town. I'm not usually in town, so that I'm going to be up there. So Matt and I are going to rock the stage for 2 hours from 10 to noon. Did you like today? Guess what? Come next month and look, there's the date, January the 16th, 10 to noon. There's no cards. It's going to be at Placer County Board of Realtors. How much time do you have to learn someone to sell 600 homes a year? Do you think he understands lead generation? Now, I was doing 400. He is senior.
Did he lose power? Did he forget to plug his laptop back in?
XP. We talk about listings and somebody's not muted. Anyway,
I unmuted because you were frozen for a few minutes.
We lost you for a bit.
Oh, really? How long was I frozen for? Did you know that?
A bit.
I was frozen.
So you said you enjoy this, come next month and join us and then it died off.
Oh,
it was the best part. Right?
I unplugged my computer. Maybe that took me offline. Weird.
That's exactly what I was asking.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. So Matt Smith's coming. He sells 600 homes a year. I was doing 400 between the two of us. 1,000 homes a year. We're going to teach you to master lead generation. And I go, come. So this will be up on the screen at the end of the El Dorado Hills one. We're promoting this one. And you go to prospect25.eventbrite.com and sign up, or just do the little squiggly thing, get your seat today. It will sell out. And we're promoting an event. But these are soft recruiting events. We don't talk about attraction. We don't talk about recruiting. There are no EXP signs. Everybody knows it's EXP. Are you not proud of EXP? You're totally proud of EXP. They go, wow, all these agents are EXP. Yeah, I go, that Matt Smith guy, EXP, sharp as heck. I never have Remax speak. There are great agents at Remax and Keller Williams. They're never going to speak, not on my stage. Because if they're impressed with the Sotheby's agent, they want to join Sotheby's. I know, but I could sponsor them. You're being selfish, because everybody in the audience is going to want to join Realty One if it was a Realty One speaker. There's sharp agents everywhere. So make sure your speakers are always EXP. My opinion, what do I know? Probably nothing. So let's show them. Now, if you remember, let's go back to the flyer for El Dorado Hills. I'm going to show you that one. We're going to bounce back to that flyer. Good to see you, Craig Nash. How are you, man? Jason Justak, love you, buddy. Good to see you. Hugh, what's up, Hugh? Good to see you, man. Get some good coffee. Good to see you, Hugh. All right, got Liz Brown's in the house. Merry Christmas, Liz. Love you guys. So you see this one? Now watch what you see next. We're going to pull up Elk Grove, and I want to show you. Look at that. Use the same flyer. So you can use the same flyer. You could do one in the south part of Chicago and the north part of Chicago, and the west part of Chicago and the east part of Chicago. Guess where? We don't have a flyer for it to show yet, but I'm also doing one in Vacaville. I'm doing one in Lincoln. I'm doing one in Pleasanton. I use the same flyer. So you could do different areas. And you think, but Brent, I don't have 50, 80, 100 people coming. My event started with 10. Do 10 people around the conference center at Wells Fargo Mortgage, at Guild Mortgage, at First American Title. This is how you grow. And you can take my flyer here and give this to someone who knows how to do a graphic. It's super easy to say, copy the verbiage. We'll change featuring, get your person, right? Now, in this case, there's two of us. We have one in El Dorado Hills. We had two featured speakers in Elk Grove because they wanted Krista Mayshore. I called Krista. She was, I'm in. And so there's Krista right there. And so if I was in Las Vegas, I get Matt Plummer up there. It'd be me and Matt, or it may be all Matt. But you see, there's the squiggly, there's the thing, and there's the 10 to noon, lunch served at noon. 10 to noon, lunch served at noon. The vendor will pay for lunch. You can find a roofing company, a home inspector, a general contractor, a mortgage broker. Someone will buy box lunches for everyone. And if lunch is served, people love to go to events where they're going to get lunch afterwards or dinner. So you can do this stuff super good. And then the key thing is you add value, then celebrate your producers. Celebrate the producers. Stand up. You don't have them come on stage because it takes too much time for them to walk up, but you completely celebrate them. People want people to know who they are and go, a lot of you didn't know. And if you know something, they just did a $10 million deal. You didn't know. Right by you, someone did a $10 million deal. By the way, and if I'll ask them before the thing, go, what's your commission on that? They go, man, the commission on that was $185,000. I go, by the way, I talked to Matt Plummer. I talked to Craig Nash. I talked to Dave Cadoon. And he said his commission was $185,000. Just dream a little. Wouldn't it be great for you to earn $185,000? You might want to take Dave to lunch. You might want to buy Craig breakfast or a cup of coffee, or go see Hugh and ask Hugh how he listed 48 apartments complex and sold them. By the way, we did have a guy, his first listing from an open house was a guy, he says, hey, I need you to sell an apartment. Come look at it. He did. Well, he had 198 of them. His first commission as a real estate agent, he knows nothing, was $288,000. You know, he didn't get 3% of the whole thing, but it was big enough to where he made $288,000 on his first commission. And so you want to talk about it, celebrate your agents. So again, this is magic. This is called soft recruiting events. It's easy to invite people to and say, Joanne, Matt, Hugh, Craig, Liz, I want you to come to our business planning clinic. Coach Randy Bird, Julie, Sean, Frank Crandall, Brian Moses. Brian, I want you to come to our master lead generation clinic. And I want you to go back to Coldwell Banker and kill it. I want you to go back to Keller Williams and kill it. Well, come on, you want me to come to EXP. I forbid you to ever come to EXP. Now, Michelle, get over yourself. Come to this how to build a luxury team event, how to do luxury listings, and then go back to your independent brokerage and prosper. I want you to do well. Andy, do you hear me? I want you to do well, Jason. And so they go, okay, I'll come. And they come. Do they all come? No. Sometimes people say no. Don Yoakum told me no. Randy Bird told me no at first. There's so many people that tell me no. So what? I moved on. I stayed in contact. And guess what? Don Yoakum came back around. Randy Bird came around in 2 weeks. He came around. He was a quick no, but then a yes. But I did it by inviting people to events. Randy, unmute yourself real quick. Coach Randy Bird, everyone. You told me no. I just bought a franchise. I can't. I go, well, there's no losses. You can't learn about EXP. And he's like, well, yeah. And what's the first thing I did? I invited you to an event, which was not close. He lived in Santa Rosa. Randy, how far did you drive to attend your first event with EXP? Because I invited you.
I don't remember the distance, but I remember you kept inviting me to events and I kept saying that I'm coaching. I couldn't do it. It was Vegas that you invited me to, and I got to meet Glenn and stuff. That was 2 years after I joined that I finally went to a big event, saw the vision, events build belief. And
Yes.
it was one of the triggers for me, which was the NASDAQ. They announced they were going on the NASDAQ, and that was one of my triggers. So yeah, I mean, events
too.
build belief. It just, you got to keep inviting and inviting and inviting.
Well, he doesn't remember, but I invited him 2 weeks after I showed it to him to El Fornillo to a nice dinner. And we had
I do remember that.
18 of us on the patio in front of a fireplace. It was a magical setting. And I probably spent $700, $800, $900 on dinner and some red wine. Everyone had a glass of red wine. Nobody
Met
got
Frank Crandall that night.
Yeah,
Yep.
Frank Crandall was there. But that's where the magic happens. Nobody invites anybody anywhere. So invite people to Cabo. It's going to be production, production, production. Tom Ferry's going to talk about production. Ed Miles is going to talk about mindset that leads to production. Pace Morby, you're going to list something with 200-300 homes or units or something. Pace Morby's going to teach you how to do stuff that you didn't know was possible. Like, I don't know if I could do it. Do it with Pace. Become his partner. He's an absolute pro. He has 900 employees. And then he's going to give you a percentage of the ownership, and it's going to be owner financed, man, because you come across this stuff. And you will. It's like your reticular activator. Now that you know it's possible, you'll be like looking before you're like, oh, I don't know nothing about apartments. I don't know nothing about trailer parks. I don't know nothing about KOA campgrounds. I don't know anything about bowling alleys. And all of a sudden you're going to get a bowling alley that seller goes, I'll finance it, take it. And Pace will show you how to do it. And you literally could partner with Pace. How much money you got into it? Nothing. But the lead is worth everything. And so I'm telling you, it's going to be production. It'll probably be about 60% production, about 40% is how to build a sales organization, which is production. When it was just me, it was production. When I had 45 buyer's agents, it was production. That's called a sales organization. So the whole thing is production, but we're sliding in the agent attraction there, and it will be so awesome. So you want to grow, get people to Cabo. I'll end with this as we're wrapping up today. How we're doing on time, we're doing fine. So we're going to get you out of here a little early. It's Christmas, but I'll say this. I had 320 people in my group when I went to my first event in Fort Lauderdale. I got 90 of them to leave Northern California and fly from the West Coast to the East Coast. 19 in width, 71 below them, 90 total. I ride that wave today. Cabo is March 11th through the 16th. Today is the 10th of December. Does anyone know why I know what date it is? Because it's my father's 89th birthday. Everyone who knows Papa Jim, my dad, who cruised around Cabo Build, he loves you guys so much. He's so excited. He's going to be in Cabo, of course, this year. But here's the deal. It's the 10th. It's his birthday. We're throwing a big party for him at the house. I flew in last night because of that. But here's the deal. It's 3 months away. You got 3 months, right? You got 3 months. Wrong. You do not have 3 months. You got 30 days. You better have a sense of it. Because if I tell you have 3 months, you ain't going to do anything for the next month. You'll start in January. By January, the airfare starts creeping up. And what people could have got airfare for, and the next week or two or three for, $300, $400, $500 to get the Cabo round trip will turn into $1,300, $1,400, $1,500. Well, that's not that big, $1,300. It is if they bring their spouse. Now it's $2,600. All because you waited a month to start. Listen to me. You got 30 days to finish. You're already behind. Make a list of names. I am a list maker. Make a list of names and check them off and call every one of your front line and go, what do I got to do to get you to Cabo? Because they come to Cabo, we're going to equip them. We're going to add value. They're going to be blown away by Tom Ferry, Ed Milet, Gary and Sage Brecka are in. Pace Morby is in. They're all coming. They're making time. You make time. And then as a leader, help people get there. Help them split, pay for half their airline ticket. Let them stay in your room. Figure it out. Split their event ticket. Figure it out. But the bounce you're going to get off Cabo, it's a big deal. If you haven't been to Cabo25.com, go check out the website. That is it for today. What I'd love to do, though, is unmute yourself. And if you want to ask questions about what I just talked about doing events, the flyer, I'm sure by now, Rob has put in the chat. If someone asked a question in the chat, somebody else unmute yourself and ask the question was asked in the chat. I'm not good about, I should have somebody read the chat and ask the questions in the future.
Sorry, I asked if Tom Ferry was speaking more than one day.
Tom Ferry is speaking. So here's how this works.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday is being wrapped up by Pace Morby. And so Pace Morby is going to hang out. He wants to be at the beach, the pool, hang out with you guys. He really wants to interact with you guys in the lobby, morning coffee. Pace is going to be around. Thursday's wrapped up by Tom Ferry. Friday's wrapped up by Ed Milet. So I kind of have a keynote speaker, not for the event, but for each day.
Yeah. Okay.
Coach Michael Burt will be there. And then this guy none of you ever heard of, Gary Brecka, Gary and Sage are going to be there, and they're going to speak before Ed Milet. We're going to freak people out and blow their mind away. He's so popular, and he's going to be there hanging out all weekend. So you can go for a jog on the beach with Gary Brecka at 6 a.m. as the sun's rising, or get in the gym and get a workout with Gary, or hit the spa. Just come have fun. But I'm telling you, you have 30 days. Make a list. Focus, the power of focus. Great question, Joanne. Anybody else? I want to questions about events, questions about Cabo, questions about anything.
Will you come to Nova Scotia?
Is that in America? Where is that?
I'm planning a weekend retreat at a golf.
I know it's in Canada. I'm teasing you.
I know.
New York.
But have you ever heard of Fox Harbor? It's our famous golf club that you can fly into. Anyway.
Now you're talking my language.
So we're planning a weekend retreat for us, and I thought we could double it with agent and traction maybe as well.
I love it. Possibly send me some stuff.
Okay.
We're already mapping out next year. Barcelona build is happening. And if you want to go to Rome or the Amalfi Coast or out to Santorini with us, we're going to be there in the middle of September. Details will come out on that next month. Just kind of planting that seed. I want to say this, though. As you're talking to people, and Jared Davis, this is money. You guys watching and listening? Here's what you do. You talk to people and they're kind of interested, but they're kind of not, and they're nervous and blah, blah, blah. I said, you know what? Hugh, Craig, Michelle, Brian Moses, will you make a commitment? Listen to me. You're not leaving Coldwell Banker. You're not leaving Southern. You're staying at Compass. Just you're not going to leave. It takes down their defenses. Stay. I want you to stay at Century 21. But would you make a commitment to me to stay in curiosity about a model that you may one day want to go to? In other words, I know you're happy now at Berkshire Hathaway or Compass or Sotheby's, but what if they didn't back you up in a lawsuit situation, or they mistreat you, a manager mistreats you and you feel frustrated, but you put up with it because you don't know where you want to go? What if I could become plan B that wasn't just kind of good, that you're actually kind of excited about? I want to become plan B for you. It gives you more power to negotiate with the management team at where you're at. Because if you've got someone you're excited about, they will pay you a higher split. They will not mistreat you. They will not charge you $1,200 a month for that office. You probably get it for free or $300 a month. It actually is to your benefit to have a plan B you're excited about. If it's not us, it's fine. But do me a favor, Jared. Do me a favor, Vincent. Will you make a commitment to me to at least stay in curiosity about the model? I promise you, if you can learn to say that to people, I've never had anyone say, no, I will not stay in curiosity about the model. I will bury my hand in the sand like an ostrich, like an anteater. They all say, yeah, totally. And then I say, Joanne, just for fun, say, I'm going to ask you the question, role play with me, and just say yes for the sake of it. They always say yes. They always say, Joanne, do me a favor. I want you to stay at Royal LePage up in Canada. Stay there. Just take that. I don't want you having that pressure. Here, the idea of you leaving Royal LePage in Canada, it's a book. We're going to put it on the bookcase. You're not leaving. We're going to put that book on the bookshelf. You're not leaving. But I think you having a plan B company that you're excited about will help you at Royal LePage. Because if they know that you might want to leave, they're going to, and you'll get paid more and they will tend to mistreat you less. I know they haven't mistreated you, but it will help you. Would you be willing to make a commitment to me to at least stay in curiosity about our model, just to learn about the model? Could you do that, Joanne?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So on that note, next month up in El Dorado Hills, we are doing how to get your business rocking in 2025. We're going to study how to get $1 million listings and mastering lead generation. I have Krista Mayshore coming in. She's done over, $1 billion in sales. She's amazing. The Brent Gove guy's going to be there, or Jay Kinder's going to be there, or whoever's going to be there. I want you to come. And I want you to kind of see our culture and what we're about. Then I want to take you to take that business plan from our business planning workshop or our lead mastery workshop. When you take that, go back to Royal LePage, and I want you to apply it. I want you to have the best year you've ever had in 2025. Let's say it's
Great. Can I bring somebody else from Royal LePage?
Yes, bring a guest. See that? See that? This was done to me when I was at Remax. I was the #1 Remax agent in Keller Williams at Remax. And then for 9 years, they were after me. 9 years. But the last one was smart enough to say this. It was Maureen Barker. She said, Brent, would you make a commitment to me to at least stay in curiosity about the Keller Williams business model? I go, yeah, sure. Of course. Why not? So she said, good, because I'm going to invite you to some things. I just made a commitment. Now I got to go. It's like very sneaky. And I went, I want to invite you to some of our mastering lead generation workshops. Does that sound terrible, you guys? I'm going to invite you to some of our business planning workshops. I want you to see how our luxury works, how to get multi-million-dollar listings. If I just helped you get 3 listings over $1 million this year, and you double-ended one of them and just sold the other 2, that's 60,000 plus 30, add 120,000 to your income. And you go back to Remax and apply it. You don't need to come to Keller, but I want you to see who we are and what we're about and the quality of our training. Does that sound good? When those events, can I invite you and would you come?
Absolutely.
Joanne, would you come?
Yeah, I would come.
This is what you guys are not doing. And this is called soft recruiting events. And you don't talk about Keller Williams. You don't talk about EXP. They didn't talk about Keller Williams. They talked about multi-million-dollar listings. They talked about business planning. Now that Keller Williams was all branded out Keller Williams. What?
And my phone came, even though it's on silent, my daughter called, so I shut her down.
All right. All right. So that is a super powerful thing to do. It puts the resistance down. It lowers their guard. They're looking over the fence like this. They go, oh, I could stay at Compass. I could stay at Realty One. I have to leave Coldwell Banker. I can breathe. They're not trying to get me now. I got my shields up. Shields come down. Mine gets open. This is the best way to recruit in 2024, 25 is now. Remember, you have 30 days for Cabo. Brian Moses, if you have 200 people in your group, a third of them need to be in Cabo, not 7, a third. I brought 90 out of 320, it's just shy of a third. The bigger you get, the harder it is to bring a third. But if let's say you have 10, 30 people in your group, get 10 there. Let's say you got 60 people in your group, get 20 there. The problem is last year you show up with 2 or 3 or just you. And you can't come home and tell them, oh my gosh, I met this guy. We were sitting in the spa and here came Ed Milet. I was at breakfast and Glenn Sanford came up and started talking to us. And he said this one thing. He introduced me to Robert Wyckoff from Success. He introduced me to Craig Nash. And Craig does Airbnbs and makes $100,000 a month. And it was life-changing. But your people don't get to enjoy that because you're not a promoter. You're not a promoter. I am a promoter. It will help. That's how I grew. And you can't come home and tell them what it was like. They need to see, feel, hear, touch, experience. That's why I go to Tony Robbins events. That's why I'm at Zenith Club with Tony Robbins. That's why I went to Platinum. That's why I did the Craig Proctor stuff where I met Brian Moses. That's Brian, unmute yourself real quick. Brian, how powerful was it for us to gather in Toronto? You were a Coldwell Banker guy, #1 in the world. I was a Remax guy, top dog in California. But when I went, I was selling 48 homes a year in California. I met you. I met Jay Kenner, went on to sell 400 homes a year. But how powerful was it to get together and to collaborate?
It's ridiculous. We still collaborate. We still get together. It's the
24 years later.
It's like, I have an RV, you have a boat. It has 8 batteries in there. 8 batteries runs a 55,000 pound RV. 8 batteries in a room runs the country. I mean, that's the best analogy I can. It's supercharged.
Absolutely. The power of a mastermind. You come with a great idea. I come with a great idea. We exchange ideas. You came with one, you leave with two. And so, you know, the thing I'd share this, I think last week, proximity is power. What I mean by that is if you get in the room with people who are hungry, they want it, they're going for it, just being there, your productivity will go up 15%. You're like, oh, I'm motivated. It's a fact, 15%. You get in the room with average people who make average comments, it goes 30% the other way. It's a 45% variance. Cabo's your chance to get in the right room. And by the way, I've been to UPW 4 times now. The last one was the best one. When the student is ready, the teacher will prepare. It's the same information, but it just hit me in ways I was ready for. And so
Awesome.
I keep going because I'm a student of life. And so, man, I look forward to seeing everyone there. Brian Moses, if you don't know him, is a freaking legendary rock star. How big is your organization at EXP now? You got over 200? How big is it?
We're at 400.
400. Last time I talked to him was 200. Now he's at 400. He'll be at 4,000. And Brian, man, I challenge you, bring 100. You're on a mission. Spend the next 30 days, carve out some dates. I'm not doing real estate. And you get people there on your front line and then key leaders in depth. You show up at the 100 to Cabo, your life will never be the same again. The next 30 days are so important to you guys. You got to show up in Cabo, bring people. They get it. It goes from their head to their heart. It makes that 12-inch journey. Game over. The next wave is coming. Start paddling. Catch it in Cabo. Ride it to the Bills this summer. Into EXPCon next October for in Miami. And it's just game over. You can't stop it. I can't stop it. It's out of control. But I want you to have something that you can't stop. And it takes faith. I believe in things not yet seen. Anyways, I believe we are up against the hour. Yep, it's 2:02. I was going to let you out early and I can't stop talking. Merry Christmas. Love you guys. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. And then we're going to take the rest of the year off. I'll take a couple of weeks off. So we'll see you next week right here, same time, same place.
Thanks, Brent.
You bet. Love you guys.